The best leaders aren't remembered for their titles or strategies. They're remembered for how they made people feel. That's where the fifth pillar of emotional intelligence comes in: social skills. I'm Kevin Brunner, a team leader in the chemistry industry, and I'm here to help you lead with more clarity, confidence, and connection. Today, we're going to explore what social skills mean in the context of leadership, how they connect to neuroscience, and practical ways you can strengthen them to become a leader people trust, follow, and want to work with. In the framework of emotional intelligence, social skills mean your ability to communicate clearly, build trust and rapport, navigate conflict, influence without coercion, and inspire collaboration. It's not about being extroverted, it's about being effective. Think of social skills as the outward expression of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, and empathy all feed into this final skill. Social skills are where everything comes together, where emotional intelligence becomes visible. But maybe you're wondering, how do I know if I need to work on this? Here are some signs your social skills as a leader might need attention. Conversations feel one-sided. Maybe you notice you do most of the talking, or people shut down when you speak. That could mean your listening skills need sharpening. You sense tension, but you don't know how to address it. If conflicts linger unresolved, or you feel avoided in difficult conversations, it might be a gap in your ability to read and navigate emotions. Feedback doesn't land. Perhaps you've shared constructive feedback, but instead of improvement, you get defensiveness or disengagement. This is often less about what you said and more about how it was delivered. You feel disconnected from your team. You might notice people don't come to you with ideas or concerns. The lack of openness usually signals that the relational bridge needs strengthening. Networking feels draining or awkward. Social skills aren't just about meetings. They also affect how you build relationships outside your immediate team. If you feel those interactions are forced, it's a sign you could grow here. And here's the key. None of these mean you're a bad leader. They just mean your social brain, the circuits involving empathy, trust, and connection, needs some exercise. The same way you train a muscle. The good news: neuroscience shows these skills are highly trainable. By working on self-awareness, practicing emotional regulation, and intentionally building your connection skills, you can rewire your brain to become naturally more socially effective. That's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. So why do social skills matter so much in leadership? Let's look at the brain. Humans are wired for connection. We have mirror neurons in our brains that automatically reflect the emotions and behaviors of others. This is why laughter spreads in a room, why attention can feel contagious, and why calm leaders can steady anxious teams. Social skills are in many ways about managing this network of mirror neurons, because your state as a leader directly influences the state of your people. On a chemical level, relationships also activate powerful neurotransmitters. Oxytocin, the trust hormone, strengthens bonds and loyalty. Leaders who build trust literally change the brain chemistry of their teams, creating psychological safety. Dopamine, linked to reward and motivation, spikes when people feel recognized and valued. Leaders who give genuine praise and acknowledgement boost this system. Serotonin, tied to mood and status, increases when people feel respected and included. Good social skills ensure no one feels left out or diminished. Strong social skills in leadership aren't just nice, they're neurochemical. They shape how people feel, perform, and engage. Let's step away from the neuroscience for a moment and look at practical leadership. You can be brilliant, but if you can't influence, you won't be effective. You can have vision, but without collaboration, you can't execute it. You can be decisive, but without trust, people won't follow you. That's why social skills sit at the top of the emotional intelligence framework. They're the visible outcome of everything else. A leader without social skills becomes isolated. They may have authority, but they won't have influence. Let's ground this in some real scenarios. First, running meetings. A leader with poor social skills dominates the conversation, shuts down ideas, and leaves people feeling disengaged. A leader with strong social skills listens actively, invites contributions, balances voices, and ends the meeting with clarity and alignment. Second, giving feedback. Poor social skills, delivering blunt criticism that crushes morale. Strong social skills, giving feedback with empathy, framing it as an opportunity, and reinforcing belief in the person's ability to grow. Third, conflict resolution. Poor social skills, avoiding tension or escalating it. Strong social skills, leaning into the conflict, acknowledging emotions, and facilitating a solution that strengthens trust rather than erodes it. Fourth, inspiring change. Poor social skills, issuing commands. Strong social skills, painting a vision, connecting it to people's values, and creating buy-in. These scenarios highlight why social skills are the application of emotional intelligence. They're how you turn empathy and self-regulation into leadership behaviors. So what specific skills make up this pillar of emotional intelligence? Let's break it down. Communication. Clear, concise, and emotionally intelligent communication. This means not just delivering information, but shaping how it lands. Neuroscience shows that the tone of voice, body language, and emotional state actually carry more weight than the words themselves. Active listening. Most leaders think they're listening, but they're really preparing their next response. Active listening means giving full attention, noticing what's unsaid, and reflecting back understanding. When people feel heard, their brains release oxytocin. That's how trust builds. Influence. Influence is about guiding people without forcing them. Leaders with social skills connect their ideas to people's values, making alignment natural. Conflict management. Conflict isn't bad. It's a sign of engagement. But unmanaged conflict erodes teams. Leaders with strong social skills create safe spaces where disagreements turn into constructive solutions. Collaboration. Great leaders don't just manage individuals, they orchestrate teams. Social skills make it possible to connect diverse personalities, balance strengths, and build synergy. It's worth noting what happens when leaders lack social skills. When communication is harsh, inconsistent, or dismissive, it triggers the amygdala, the brain's threat detection system. People move into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Cortisol rises. Creativity, problem solving, and collaboration shut down. On the other hand, strong social skills help leaders activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain linked to logic, problem solving, and long-term planning, in both themselves and their team. This is the neuroscience of leadership presence. Poor social skills trigger fear, while strong social skills trigger trust and possibility. Now let's talk about development. Social skills can absolutely be learned and strengthened. Here are some practices you can study today. Practice active listening. In your next conversation, resist the urge to interrupt or plan your reply. Instead, summarize what you heard before responding. This not only clarifies understanding, but makes the other person feel valued. Use open-ended questions. Shift from, did you do this, to, how are you approaching this? Questions that invite reflection, build deeper dialogue. Manage your nonverbals. Most communication is nonverbal. Notice your tone, posture, eye contact. Neuroscience shows that people detect emotional states through micro-expressions, faster than conscious thought. Acknowledge emotions. If a team member is upset, don't jump straight to problem solving. First, acknowledge. I can see this is frustrating for you. That small act of empathy keeps the amygdala calm and the prefrontal cortex online. Celebrate wins. Regularly recognize contributions, both big and small. That dopamine boost fuels motivation and loyalty. Practice perspective taking. Before difficult conversations, imagine how the other person might feel, what pressures they face, and what outcome they want. This primes your brain for empathy and reduces defensiveness. Here's the big insight. Social skills are a multiplier of all your other leadership abilities. Your self-awareness helps you notice how you come across. Your self-regulation keeps your emotions in check. Your motivation fuels consistency and resilience. Your empathy helps you understand what people need. But your social skills are what put all of this into action. Without them, the other four stay invisible. That's why, in many ways, social skills are the leadership X factor. Social skills aren't about being charming or charismatic. They're about connection. They're about aligning your brain and your body with the neuroscience of trust, motivation, and collaboration. When you build strong social skills, you calm the amygdala instead of triggering it. Activate oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, and create the kind of environment where people feel safe, seen, and motivated to give their best. That's not soft, that's science. And it's what separates leaders who simply have authority from leaders who people truly want to follow. So as you develop your emotional intelligence, remember, social skills are where the rubber meets the road. They're how your inner growth becomes outer impact. You're looking for a deep dive into one of the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence? Check out my videos on my series on emotional intelligence. If you found this helpful, give a like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which social skill do you want to strengthen most right now? Listening, feedback, or conflict management? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.